So it is time for our real estate update. We're going to do an annual review. Remember, our statistics typically come out a month behind the month that we're in. So what we're going to do is look over January 2023 and do some comparisons to medium home prices across the entire Asheville region. Remember, the Asheville region is all of these different counties that are behind me, not just Buncombe County. So this does make the mean and the median home price a little bit different because Jackson County and Polk County, those outlanders that are not as expensive as our counties touching Buncombe County, makes a difference with the mean price. However, it's very good to look at that when you're looking at the entire year. So we'll get ready to go, and by sharing the screen. And I just wanted to start off with looking at the historic median price trend from February 20 to now, almost a decade of data that we have here, to just look and see where we were at the end. Again, this is the Asheville, greater Asheville region. So we were in 2014. Back then, we were thinking that the prices were getting really high for the median home price. Remember, when I'm talking about median home price, I'm talking about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, approximately 14 to 1,800 square feet. These are what we're really looking at is what is that first-time homeowner price range that we're going into. Nothing fancy. These are just standard homes that we're looking at. So right before, and something I want to say on this is real estate goes in waves, and this is such a great example of real estate going into waves. You can see that right before the pandemic, we had taken a little dip. Then the pandemic came along, and we saw, some big spikes and little spikes all over the place. And then we, even though in 2022 we saw it go down a little bit, interesting enough, it went back up again. We sort of went for our frenzy. And the big thing that we want to look at this is, even in pandemic and dealing with higher interest rates, the median home price has continued to climb significantly across the region. We'll talk about what that means in a little bit. All right, we are going to look at the annual report. And remember that the PDFs are on the blog, and you can have access to them and check it out yourself. But this is for 2023. This is our Asheville region overall. And a couple of points that I like to look at and point out is on our new listings. If we look over from 2019, we did see in 2023 a drop in new listings. Again, lack of inventory is what's creating our higher prices across the board. And of course, it's obvious why we had less listings in 2023 is because the interest rate went up, and so people were less willing to sell if they bought a house when they had the super low interest rate. And it just makes sense that if there's less listings, there's less pendings and less closings. So what we take away from this is that in 2023, the market slowed down some, but not a lot. And interesting enough, because of that, our inventory, though, actually went up a little bit across the entire region. So the slowing down of frenzy purchasing caused the inventory to go up a little bit. Medium home price. Let's just jump right in here to Buncombe County, which I don't have on here. Interesting. Well, let's go to Haywood County. It went up. These are the top 5 areas that changed the most in the medium home prices. So in the low 400s across the region, that's a pretty significant increase. Now, I thought this part was interesting, is the percent of list to close price. In 2019, people were trying to figure out the amount of what the good price range, what it was good to list something, that they weren't hitting the target. In 2020, what happened is their pricing was pretty much the same as what it was in 2019, but people were buying it anyway. And in 21 and 22, what happened with this is it didn't matter really what you had the list price was. If it was high or thought it was high, somebody bought it anyway. 2023 was an adjustment of that. So sellers, pay attention. No longer can you throw out a price and it will stick. You really need to do a detail, have your realtor do a detailed market analysis and get it priced right immediately when you list it. Now, something that I wanted to pay attention, because I've been hearing about it in other parts of the country, was the distressed homes and what was going on. Our entire region had less than 1% across the region. You can see over here, the highest one was actually in McDowell with only 1.3%. So we are not dealing with a bunch of foreclosures and short sales. That is not part of this current real estate market. So some other good information. I did want to show this right here. Here we go with Buncombe County on the overall percent and pricing on this. So Asheville region across the board, we were down in total closed sales all the way, all the counties, if you look at them, was down in total closed sales. And just what we had said before. Again, distressed sales, nothing for us to worry about. If you're an investor hoping to get foreclosures and short sales, that's not a good game plan for right now. All right. And the amount of inventory is interesting, though. We have 2 months, 3, even 4 in Swain County. This is an increase. We had been running, less than a year supply. Less than a month supply, and now we've got 2 months supply. Inventory, though, is still very, very low across the board in different price points. All right. Just another way of looking at 2023. Across the board, we were steady in the whole region. If you look at this can be any year for us as far as look at the months and the season. When do things sell the most? When is it good? There's really never a bad time to list or buy a house in our region. Houses go on the market, they get sold if they're priced right for their condition and location. So not a problem with thinking about when is the best time. Summer, right after June, and in the fall are super busy because of a lot of tourists, but they, a lot of looky-loos, not necessarily always buying. And then the last thing I wanted to talk to you about was our rent in the Asheville area. So HUD Fair Market is the national, they do statistical analysis, decide what is the fair market rent for somebody that is receiving subsidies like Section 8 or some other type of affordable housing programs. And they come up with a number for that. And then what do we got here for the median? This is what our market value is. What is our median market value going? So this is Asheville City, looked for units that had HVAC systems and inside the city limits. For a studio, there's not a whole lot of difference between what you're getting in the market rate versus what the fair market HUD program is. For one bedroom, again, there's not a huge difference. Starts to increase a little bit here for the 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms is right around, if you've got 2 bedrooms and 2 baths in good condition inside the city limits of Asheville, you're probably getting close to 2,000, somewhere in that. 3 bedrooms, we see a drop from what HUD Fair Market's paying, and we're seeing moving up here. Now, here's the thing that I thought was really interesting is the 4 bedrooms. And when we get up into 4 bedrooms, that is a significant amount of increase for rentals. But what's happening that doesn't really show, and you don't know unless you do a deep dive, these 4 bedrooms, a lot of these 4 bedrooms are very big homes, and they are partially or completely furnished for their rents. This is not short-term rental. This is long-term rentals with a year lease. All right. So that's a quick review. We didn't get down to nitty-gritty. Just wanted to go over and say what was going on in 2023. Here's the deal, guys. Here's my takeaways with it. It's always a good time to buy in our area. It's always a good time to sell in our area if you really want to live here or if you want to move. Right? Trying to figure it out and saying, do I want to move to Asheville? Should I move now? Yeah, if you want to move here, move as soon as you can because prices go up. It doesn't matter what the interest rate is, prices go up. Our topography prevents us from building large tract homes like out in Los Angeles or Las Vegas or something. So we don't have that. So the inventory is progressively less than someplace that has, a lot of flat land that they can build, box houses right and left. If you want to sell and you want to sell because you want to move, internally in our area, it's a good time to do that because the prices are not jumping up, increasing really super high. So, you sell, you get a decent price with that. You can buy with a decent price with that. Interest rate, yeah, that affects you, but interest rates are probably going to go down a little bit right before the fall. 2024 election year, interest rates always go down in election year. How much? I don't know. It's going to depend on inflation. So just don't put that off. Now, if you're an investor, if you can buy something that you're going to hold for a rental and you can still make some money off of it or at least break even. This is a strategy a lot of investors do at this time. They break even with it. then go ahead and do that. The rents are high. I think rents, what we're going to see with rents is rents. I think most people who are renting have hit their maximum amount of what they can afford. So I don't expect our rents to go up significantly in 2024. I think they're going to hold. I don't think they'll go down unless we have some more apartment complexes come online that might skew the market. So good time to do that. If you are an investor and you're going to do flips, you need to be super, super careful in 2024 about doing that. And make sure that you've got your vendors and your subs all in place. Seeing that as an issue again with having a hard time finding people to get the work done. Thank you for taking the time to listen. And if you have any questions about the real estate market, be sure to email me, mary@lovethegreen.org. And I will be giving the January 2024 monthly review at the end of February. So have a good day.